Hey everyone, it's Honest Guy, and I need to ask you something. Why are you more addicted to your phone than a smoker is to nicotine? That's not an exaggeration. The data shows the average person unlocks their phone 150 times a day. Smokers might have 20 cigarettes. Your phone isn't a tool. It's a slot machine you carry in your pocket, and nobody is being honest about the cost. I hit my breaking point when my screen time report flashed 12 hours. 12 hours. That's an entire waking day gone. And the most terrifying part? I couldn't even tell you what I watched. It was just a blur, a void. Here's the truth they're profitably hiding from you. The attention economy is a trillion-dollar industry. Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, they're not in the business of connection or entertainment. They're in the business of harvesting focus, and your attention is the commodity being auctioned off to the highest bidder. Every autoplay, every endless scroll, every perfectly placed notification. It's not random, it's architectural. The pull to refresh motion. It's a neurological trick identical to pulling a slot machine lever. But here's the part that should make your blood run cold. They employ the same behavioral psychologists who design casino games. The very same mind hacks used to keep gambler glued to a roulette table are coded into every app you love. A former tech insider said it best. The problem isn't that people lack willpower. It's that there are 1,000 engineers on the other side of the screen whose job is to break down whatever self-control you have. I thought I was the exception. I thought my willpower was stronger than their code. For years, I fought the wrong war. I'd delete apps, use blockers, go on digital detoxes. I'd last a week, feel like I had it all figured out, superior to the masses. Then I'd fall back, and it was never a gentle stumble. It was a full faceplant into a 5-hour binge that left me feeling empty and ashamed. That's when I had the brutal, honest realization. The apps aren't the addiction. They're just the delivery system. The real addiction, the core parasite in our brains, is the fear of boredom. The inability to be alone with our own thoughts for even 60 seconds. We've become a generation that would rather be digitally numb than mentally present. But here's what's chemically hijacking your brain during those harmless scrolls. Every like, every new video, every DM delivers a micro-hit of dopamine, the same pleasure chemical released during a good meal or doing cocaine. But there's a sinister twist. Social media operates on what scientists call variable ratio reinforcement. You never know when the next reward is coming. Maybe this next scroll will be the hilarious video, the amazing deal, the validating notification. That unpredictability is what makes it so potent, so addictive. It's the exact same psychological principle that keeps a gambler feeding coins into a machine. Your brain builds a tolerance. The content that used to entertain you for an hour now bores you in 60 seconds. So you scroll faster, seeking a bigger hit. Sound familiar? Neurologists are now calling it digital opioid. And the withdrawal is very, very real. Brain fog, anxiety, a constant low-grade agitation, the phantom buzz in your pocket. But here's the study that changes everything. Researchers at UCLA tracked 2 groups. Group A used willpower, app timers, and detoxes. Group B did something radically different. They didn't focus on consuming less. They focused on creating more. Writing, drawing, building a project, making music. After 90 days, Group A had reduced screen time by about 15%. They were white-knuckling it. Group B, their screen time plummeted by over 70%. And here's the kicker. They weren't even trying to reduce it. They were just too busy creating to care. Why does creation work when everything else fails? Your brain has primal needs: novelty, challenge, and meaningful reward. Scrolling feeds it this junk food version. Creation provides a gourmet meal. When you scroll, you're passively receiving cheap dopamine hits. When you create, you're actively earning a deep, satisfying sense of accomplishment. Earned dopamine is more fulfilling and, crucially, far less addictive. Think about it. Have you ever spent 4 hours watching travel vlogs and felt good about yourself? Now remember the last time you spent 1 hour planning an actual trip. Which felt more real? Which felt more like you? But it goes even deeper. When you create, you undergo a fundamental identity shift. You stop being a consumer and start being a contributor. You move from the audience to the stage, from follower to leader, And this is the uncomfortable, honest truth most people will avoid. Most people won't do this. Why? Because consuming is passive. Creating is active. Watching a workout video is easier than doing a push-up. Binging cooking shows is easier than chopping an onion. Learning about productivity is easier than actually doing the work. We'd rather live through other people's creativity than muster the courage to express our own. I know this because I was the king of this. The moment I realized I could recite a YouTuber's entire life story but couldn't articulate my own 5-year plan, that was the moment everything changed. So here is my honest, actionable conclusion based on psychology and real-world testing. Your addiction isn't to the phone, it's to mental idleness. The only sustainable cure is mental engagement. Here's your challenge. For the next 90 days, enact the creation switch. Every single time you feel the itch to mindlessly consume, you switch. You create something for just 5 minutes instead. It doesn't matter what. Send a meaningful text instead of scrolling them. Write a sentence of an idea. Doodle a stupid sketch. Record a 30-second video on your camera roll. Just create. Track it, be honest. I can guarantee you this. Within 30 days, you'll naturally be consuming less without even fighting it. Within 60 days, you'll start to prefer the feeling of creating. It will feel better. Within 90 days, you will have fundamentally rewired your brain. You'll look back at your old consumption habits and wonder how you ever lived that way, but this is the most crucial part. You can't approach this as a habit hack. You have to treat it as an identity transplant. You are not someone who is trying to use their phone less. You are a creator. Period. Your default state is to make things, not just consume them, because here's the final, powerful truth. In a world drowning in passive consumers, the creators hold all the power. They have the skills, the leverage, the fulfillment, and the genuine connection that consumers are desperately and futilely trying to scroll their way into. The data is in. The method is proven. The question is no longer, does this work? The question, honestly, is what are you, a consumer or a creator? The switch is yours to make. With that said, thanks for watching. Until next time, be honest with yourself.